Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get litty time, yeah. Oh, it's your boy Time Podcast, coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, it's me, Macho Man Randy Savage, back at it again with another episode of the Boy Time Podcast. And as always, I'm joined by Babby and Paul.
Whoa.
Yep.
Today we have a slam dunk episode for you, because we got
At least
a
a
lot of stuff to
three-pointer.
talk about. I mean, a decent amount of stuff to talk about. Not a whole lot of news this week, but we actually just finished watching the new Suicide Squad movie, probably less than an hour ago.
20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago, even. So we'll be doing our first reaction review, first impressions dealio of that film. And we also just finished Cowboy Bebop yesterday. So we'll be giving our thoughts and opinions on both of those things in this episode today. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I figured, there's not a whole lot of news this week. Pretty slow week, frankly. There was the Back for Blood beta in terms of gaming thingies. The closed beta, I suppose. We got in because we're cool and we watch a lot of Twitch live streams.
No, we got exclusive codes from the developers since we are influencers.
Yes, we are gaming influencers. So we
You
did get
only need
codes.
like 5 subscribers on YouTube to become an influencer on that game. So I mean,
That's true.
it's pretty good. We're
And-
so special.
We are. And first impressions, pretty good. I don't know how it's gonna play in the full game. We didn't finish the whole campaign.
We'll give updated thoughts next week because we've literally played one act.
Yes, not even.
Not
I think
even.
we played like half,
We
and
played
then
like
it got
half of
too
one.
hard, and then we died.
Well, we were on the higher difficulty.
Yeah, we'll probably play it on the baby difficulty and then give updated thoughts. But so far, I'm enjoying it. The guns feel great. I haven't noticed any major bugs. I did have a zombie T-pose before it died, and that was pretty funny to me.
I had
Those
a
are fun
couple
bugs.
frozen in there.
Yeah. But those are, minor things. It's not a cyberpunk situation by any means. So looking good so far. But that was pretty much it for gaming, I think.
Split Gate's also out. beta.
Spitgate.
Spitgate.
A game that was in early access in 2019 is now starting to gain traction now.
Just all of a sudden.
Yes.
I wonder how.
I don't know.
I don't know how it started.
Probably some YouTuber played it. People thought this is cool, and then that's how it usually starts.
I don't think so because they had an explosion of
Yeah,
just
exactly.
people.
I don't think it
Well,
was
that doesn't
like
come from one person.
a PewDiePie.
If they're big enough.
No.
I don't think it, yeah. It would
And
have to
then the
it-
chain reaction of more people playing it.
I don't think so, because then Babby would have heard about it.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
that's a very good point. I would have heard about it then. But I do have about 2 hours in it, and it is very fun.
Okay. You
So
got in?
It is basically it's like 8 minutes to get in now. It's not bad
okay.
at
Okay.
all. But it's just basically Halo with portals, but it isn't complicated, and the portals don't ruin it
Okay.
because you can only put them on certain surfaces like Portal.
Mm.
So it's all kind of strategically done, so you can't just break the game.
Yeah.
At least not that I've seen so far.
I feel like I would break my brain.
It's not that bad actually.
Okay.
Not a lot of people use them though, so I will give it that. I don't know if there's a skill-based matchmaking or anything, but a lot of people weren't even using them.
Oh, okay.
So unless there might just be learning curve there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got that Halo feel, the old Halo feel, where it's just you get in a game, you have like your sniper and shotgun only modes and your freaking deathmatch modes.
Oh, okay.
They got like a VIP mode where like one person, you got to protect one person. They got like 500 health. So it's very fun, very casual. I could see it getting sweaty, but I don't know actually.
If the game has guns, there will be sweaty boys in it.
There will be, yeah, but I don't think it'll be like a super high like learning curve. If there is a competitive mode, I could see people getting really, really good at it.
Yeah.
Just because like I was starting to get the movement down and it felt really, really smooth. Like you'd pop through a portal, kill a person, and then you'd have another portal on the other side of the map and then pop through that. So it's very different and I love it.
Okay. Well.
So can you only use your portals or can your team use team
your
portals?
Team can use your portals and you can also go through enemy portals, but you can't like see through them.
Oh,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you can go through them, but you don't know where it goes. So they could pull a funny Overwatch, the freaking Overwatch character. You could just put the teleporter on the edge of the map and they just fall off.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but the only nades. This was like a good thing because I hate Halo grenades. They're annoying and stupid. This game has like an EMP grenade where you can just throw it at like an enemy's portal and it closes it.
Oh, okay.
So there's no like damage nades, which is good.
Nice.
I could see that being a problem.
Yeah, that's always my biggest thing with Halo is like I never get to shoot people because people just know all the nade spots.
Yeah. Well, and especially with the portals, like people could just chuck nades in portals and yeah.
Yeah. Most of the maps are good. It has like 10 maps, which is very good. Like for a beta. CODs don't even launch with that many maps anymore.
True.
But I think it's always 4v4, which works pretty well. I think it'd get overwhelming if there was 6v6 with portals and crap.
Yeah.
But overall, looks promising. I don't think it'll cost too much once it comes out because it is kind of a limited arcade FPS. It's literally like a early or mid 2000s like arcade FPS.
Unreal Tournament.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
The good old days. And there's proximity chat.
Oh, well, you gotta love that.
Yeah.
That's the best part of any game.
Exactly. But it feels pretty good for a beta. I'm impressed.
Cool beans. We'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for gaming then.
That should be it.
Yes. Pretty slow week, I think. Unless there's something that I'm missing. But I can't.
It's probably stuff we don't care about if it is.
Yeah. Man, I feel like there was something. No, whatever. It probably doesn't matter.
Oh, I know it doesn't.
Wait, let me look at my Steam games. Nope.
Steam game.
Okay. That's it then. So we'll do movie news and then Suicide Squad review, show news, and then Bebop review. I guess we'll do the show news first.
Nice.
Okay, so show news. We got 2 things. Both of them are announcements for things. The first one is that Amazon's Lord of the Rings show got an official release date. This thing was being lauded as the most expensive television show ever produced. It was, I believe, in the ballpark of like 900 milli, which is a lot for TV. I mean, it's a lot for a movie too. But if you think about all the, I don't know if Peter Jackson is involved, but whenever he is, it's like he goes hard in the physical, no CGI or limited CGI. So it's going to be a lot of real props. So that costs a lot of money. And that is officially coming out on September 22nd, 2022 on Amazon Prime. So pretty cool. I will probably watch that. I don't know if we know anything about the cast or the story. I believe it's something from the Silmarillion, which for those of you who don't know, is the Lord of the Rings encyclopedia that J.R.R. Tolkien made that was like the history of the world. Pretty boring read, or so I've heard. I couldn't even get past the first 100 pages of Fellowship of the Ring. But the Tolkien heads out there are big nerds for this stuff. So
Just watch a YouTube video sum me up.
I did,
That's
and I
probably
still
the
don't.
best way.
It's it's
Oh.
like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it doesn't really play into Lord of the Rings at all. And it's like, okay, fine. I just like the movies because they're good movies. So we'll see how that goes. That is next year, which was kind of surprising because I'm pretty sure it was just announced a couple years ago. And considering how little we know about it, I was expecting it to come out in 2023, but whatever, I guess.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise indeed. And the
Amazon
second,
does what Amazon does.
they make big shows.
Really fast.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know of very many Amazon shows. I know they did The Boys. That was their big
Boys.
one. I think is Invincible. Invincible is on Amazon. I don't know if it is an official Amazon original. But that is one of the big draws. I guess it's all just superhero stuff, and now they're getting Lord of the Rings. So good for them, I guess. And the other show news, which was frankly a little bit surprising for me, but the Bad Batch show, which is the current Star Wars show that is going on right now, basically the Clone Wars 2, is getting a second season, which is odd. I didn't really see this thing going for more than one, especially with part 1 of the finale dropping yesterday, as of me recording it. I don't know where you go from here, but I guess we'll see. I guess since you guys don't care, the spoilers for the Bad Batch finale that just dropped. Watch the show if you care about Star Wars. But there is the last episode ended, and the Empire just freaking they bombed Camino, and like the entire like city like collapsed. They like orbital striked it. It was crazy.
How could they?
I know. This whole show, I haven't talked about it very much, but I've been like thoroughly enjoying it as it's been going. I think this might be a little bit of a hot take, but I think it's even better than The Mandalorian even.
Oh.
So
People like Baby Yoda are gonna fight back.
I mean, yeah. Which I don't know. I know they're
Does it
gearing
have
up.
its version of Baby Yoda?
Kind of.
Oh.
There's a so the Bad Batch are like these genetically modified clones that are like each one has like a different skill, and that's like their mutation. And the one that joins in on like the second episode is like this little Australian clone. Don't ask me, because none of the other clones have Australian accents, so I don't know where she picked that up. And it's kind of a running joke in the like Star Wars thing, like how she pronounces things, because it's like why do you say stuff like that? Nobody around you, whatever. I digress. But she's just like a little kid, and that's probably the Filoni catch, because he always does that.
We'll see if they make plushes of it.
Oh no, no! I do not think they're going to.
Oh, then it's not the Baby Yoda of the show.
Then there is no Baby Yoda, because that would be the closest thing.
Wow!
Yeah.
Can't believe it. No Baby Yoda or anything cute to sell for money.
Crazy. Well. Okay.
Oh.
Now that I'm thinking about it, One of the Bad Batch clone members, he has this like stuffed rabbit thing that he gives to the little girl. They could sell that, although I don't know how many people would buy it, but they could.
And it's
People that care
something-
enough aren't buying that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It would like no parent's gonna get that for their kid.
Yeah,
Like they would a Baby Yoda doll.
not very marketable.
No.
It's just a funny rabbit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've been enjoying the show. Animation's been pretty epic. Not a whole lot of cringe-worthy episodes, which is surprising from a Disney Star Wars project. So pretty solid all around.
Nice.
I think we got the Book of Boba Fett coming out in a couple months. We'll see how that goes. I don't know much about it, and I think that could be a little risky, but who knows? We'll see how that goes. But that is it for show news. Let's talk about the Cowboy Bebop elephant in the room, huh?
Oh yeah, this is what Grant's waiting for.
Yeah. So we watched Cowboy Bebop over the course of like a week and a half, 3 episodes a day, except for some days that we did 2.
Like 3 of them.
Yeah. So what did you guys think now that the show is done forever?
I enjoyed it.
Literally forever. I liked it. I wouldn't say it was my number 1 anime that I've seen. Maybe number 2.
Okay. I thought it was good.
Compared to Evangelion.
Yeah, I thought this was better than Evangelion.
Well, if we get Grant's take on that, Bebop or Evangelion?
Grant's gonna say Evangelion.
Are they comparable? I didn't
I
watch
mean-
Evangelion because I'm not interested, but
I mean, they're both older anime that are apparently that are like really good in the.
I know they're both
ICT
very
reviews.
popular. Yeah.
They're
Really
very popular,
is what I meant, yeah.
and they
But,
deal
like,
with.
are they comparable to each other?
They
I don't
both
know.
deal with like deeper themes. Where like what Grant was talking about with Bebop, where, like every deals with the like how you deal with the past. Every character is a representation of it, all of that. Evangelion is like the representation of like mental health and depression and suicide and all that stuff. But they mask it in a mech fighting show.
Mhm.
So, not for me. It was fine. The best part about the show is the movie, which I don't think is too much of a hot take. But the show for me was like pretty decent. A little bit too horny for me, frankly. And they're all
Like most
teenagers. Yeah, that was the kicker. Was that it was like we're watching these like kids in like middle school, and then they're like drawn like that, and I'm like I don't like this at all. So I liked Bebop, but it did kind of have that similar horniness when it came to Faye. I'm just like, can we just
Yeah,
have
it was
like
strange. I mean,
yeah.
because she was a good enough character where they didn't need to do that like bait stuff where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you must like this character.
You got look at the titty.
Yeah,
It's like I just
but
I
mean, it was
actually-
the '90s, so it was
Yeah,
kind of the
that's true.
thing, and it never went away.
yeah.
Okay, so I actually did a bit of research on why like this is a thing. Like, oh, make sure we can get all the horny boys in here, you know.
Hmm.
And so apparently this goes like I'm guessing I don't remember the dates. So it's probably like 1990s when all these are coming out. But basically, in Japan itself, anime was really not that big, and they needed a bigger audience. And so they're like, "Hey, America, we are, being pretty much occupied for like 40 years by them. We know what they like." And so they're like, "What do Americans like? Big titty, big booty, and little cloth."
Pedophilia.
And probably that.
Yeah.
But basically, they took that mixture, put it into a bowl, and we're like, this is anime now, and it has stuck ever since. Whether it's meaning it to get the views, or just playing on it as like a joke, or just because it's there now.
It's just a part of the style.
It's literally part of the genre.
Yeah. Which is fine.
It's fine. It's just something I don't like.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I
my
don't like
uncomfy
it.
levels went down severely as the show went on.
Yeah.
I think I was just getting used to it, but
Oh yeah.
it's just so weird to like see those tropes, and it's like this is so out of my league,
Mm-hmm.
and like
I've
I
gone through-
literally don't care for it at all.
Yeah.
So it takes away from it. But
Yeah. I like
I've gone
because I
through
was
like 5-6 anime, and even I still don't like it.
yeah, I don't like it.
it just kind of takes away from the thing because it's like I can't take you seriously while you're just like walking around with your like tits out all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm fine with like adult humor and like referencing it, but like actually showing it for like 24 episodes, basically, like not the biggest fan of
It
that.
serves no purpose.
Yeah, it just seems like it's like she's just there to be the, like sex appeal. And it's like I want to get
Right.
involved in your character, you know? Like there's multiple
And I
episodes
do later on.
Yeah.
But like it took so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they had to convince the audience to care by just showing her off for like 4 episodes
Yeah.
at least.
And that's my main problem is that Bebop is very tonally inconsistent. It goes all over the place where sometimes it's a Western, sometimes it's like a heist, sometimes it's a like mushroom scavenger hunt episode.
Some episodes are like almost purely like in space, pretty much.
Yeah. Sometimes Spike's a good guy, sometimes Spike is a bad guy, and it's like that's fine if you want to do that, but like
He's
keep
the
it consistent.
chaotic neutral.
I actually liked it for its inconsistency.
Yeah, it was like a
But,
new thing every day.
Yeah, but the thing I kind of getting from anime in general is they're short, and all the themes are hidden beneath layers. So I treat it the same way as I would treat an album, instead of like a TV show.
That is.
So I feel like on rewatch I would like it more because I know the characters already.
Yeah.
It just felt weird for like the first, I would say 6 or 7 episodes because I didn't know the characters good enough to care about what they were doing.
Yeah.
But like my favorite episodes are the more goofy one, like the freaking I think Cowboy Funk. That one's like one of my favorites. I even like the mushroom one. I like the freaking the train robbery and all that crap. Like that stuff's cool. It's very stylized and like very just it's just cool. That's like the main vibe I got from it.
Yeah. It is it's it's visually great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Soundtrack's fantastic, by the way.
Yes, I agree with that too. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was just drawn to the more serious stuff because that's usually what I like in Westerns, which is, I know not, I shouldn't have gone into it. Well, I didn't know it was a Western, but the pilot really was like, oh, snap. This is like a bounty hunter space Western. And it, like, okay, I am in 2000%. And then like I don't even remember what the second episode was, but then the third episode was the one that we're introduced to Faye in the casino. And it's like, okay, we're kind of still there, but then it kind of goes off the rails from there with the introduction of probably the thing that absolutely ruined the show for me, and that is Ed. Yeah.
You're not messing with Ed?
No, absolutely not. I thought that there would be like serious moments, and then Ed would come in and absolutely destroy those moments. And it's like, you are absolutely neutering your show's potential by having this character in as not even like a good comic relief. It's like just stupid.
No. Ian was the comic relief.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And listen, I have nothing against a comic relief. The shark in the Suicide Squad was great. I like that shark. Yeah. It's just when it's like the stupid kid trope. And I was like, okay, Yeah.
I feel like that's another anime trope, though. It's just like an over-the-top, off-the-walls eccentric character where their only purpose is to just be quirky.
And I don't like that.
It is, yeah. It is.
I got used to it once again as we got later episodes, but her character also got better as we went on. But those first couple episodes with Edward, it was like, oh no.
Yeah.
That was like the chess one was really nice.
True.
I thought Edward was really, really good in that one. Yeah, they like tried to do a Faye and Edward thing. It didn't really work. I wish they would have gone like, we needed the Avatar like girl spa episode. They like really just got character growth between the two.
Yeah.
Because I don't hate Edward, because I would have liked to see more, you know? Like, give me a reason to like this character.
Yeah. That's kind of my reasoning for not liking, like, Faye. I liked Faye more than I liked Edward.
I liked Faye.
But still, it's the whole give me a reason thing, where it's like Faye is like just a slab of meat. And then she's like, I have a deep backstory now. And it's like, okay, we're like so late in the show to introduce this. And then by the time it gets resolved, it's just like, actually, I decided that whole thing didn't matter. And now the show's over. Which is fine if you want to do that. But you gotta really set it up.
The way I view it is like multiple like rewatches award you. But I mean, for someone like me that never revisits TV shows usually,
neither do I.
It's kind of like,
Yeah, I feel like Faye's backstory, if you were to like really deserve that ending, where it's like the whole thing was for nothing, Faye needed to be the main character, because we like,
or they needed to introduce it like on episode 3.
Right.
I mean, this is just basic writing stuff, but. And introduce it to us early and then slowly reveal it instead of just dumping it all on like on episode 18 and then expecting us to care for the rest of the series.
Yeah, that's true too. And like, maybe don't devote whole episodes to backstory. That was another issue that I had, because there was like episodes where they're kind of like having fun shenanigans, and then it's like serious, this guy murders the entire like League of Assassins, and it's like, this does not match at all with what we just had the previous episode.
They also don't explain time jumps. You just kind of expect it as like be like, this is sometime in the future.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't,
which is cool.
I don't take too much issue with that. Yeah,
it's just I feel like really like off balance whenever episodes start, because I'm like, okay, are we like way far ahead or not far ahead, or what's happened?
Oh, we are so far ahead.
It feels so disconnected. But I mean, all these things to say, like, I still really enjoyed it. I just don't watch anime a lot, and this isn't something that's gonna make me like watch more.
No.
But so if it's just that this is like basic anime like pacing, I guess I'm just not used to it. But still really enjoyable. I think I like the idea of it more than the actual show.
Yes.
Because it's so stylized and so clean, and they did some great voice actors for the dub.
Yeah.
I didn't have any issues with any of the voice actors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Character design's awesome. Animation wise, you know, typical 90s stuff, very nostalgic. I mess with it. Yeah. But my favorite episodes were like the goofy ones.
I think my favorite episodes were the first one and then the last 2. Because those were, I don't know. I think the first one might actually be my favorite episode, just because of like that fight scene in the bar was awesome. And I felt like the action in that one was really stand out, and it never really hit that peak again until the very end.
Until the last episode.
Yeah. Which I don't know any of the behind the scenes. I know that pilots are sometimes different than the shows that come after them, because as soon as they get picked
animation
up,
for sure.
The network can change a whole lot of things. So I don't know if that's what went into it, and then they changed it. I don't know what went into it. But I also enjoyed the show for the most part. I don't know if this is necessarily a good case for me getting into anime full time.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, it was something I'm glad I watched, but I'm not. This isn't like a gateway drug
Mm.
at all. But out of all the animes I've watched, I still haven't found one that connects.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I
and the
agree.
list isn't very long, but I just haven't found one that like really drew me in yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear JoJo's really good, and that's something I'm interested in. But I've
Mhm.
also heard it's not a good like starter anime.
I have
I
also
don't
heard
really
that.
think there are many good starter anime
Yeah.
unless you like really look, honestly. Like I don't know, like there's maybe one or two that I've watched that maybe I could say you could watch, but at the same time, like it's something that's kind of like you'll have to like be able to like it to like it. I guess if you understand.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know. It's just like I just don't connect to any of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm glad I experienced it and watched it because I think it is something people should watch.
Mm-hmm.
It is a pop culture icon.
Yeah.
Thing
for sure. And we haven't seen the movie yet. We're gonna see
we'll
that
watch
in a
the
couple
movie later.
days. So no spoilers in the comments. Except when this
Please.
goes up, we will have already have seen it. So
Exactly.
Haha, people trying to spoil for us. Take that.
Sug on D's. So what show are we doing next? We're doing Ozark or Twin
Ozark?
Peaks?
I would say Ozark.
Okay. So you guys just wait another month or so, and then we'll have an Ozark review. So.
What is in Ozark? In case I might be interested.
Ozark is a show about a money launderer working for the cartel, based on a real story about, I think he was in New York, and then he moves to the Lake of the Ozarks to start a money laundering empire for the cartel. And I believe his name is Marty Bird. I don't remember. But it's Jason Bateman as the main guy, which you guys might know
I do like Jason
as
Bateman.
the guy Michael in Arrested Development. A complete 180 from that. Kind of like Saul. Kind of from going funny Tim and Eric Mr. Show SNL stuff to Saul Goodman in one of the most critically acclaimed dramas of all time. It is like that. I have seen the first 2 seasons of Ozark. It was a very long time ago, and I believe I had it on in the background. So I don't remember very much.
So you pretty much are just going to watch it for the first time.
I believe I saw the first season, like I watched it, like actually watched it. And then the second season I had it on in the background because I'm like, eh. I remembered it being good. And it is getting awards out the wazoo for everything. So I am excited to see it. So that'll be good. That is on Netflix though, so we're gonna have to do stupid stuff to watch it.
Yikes.
Or do it through Discord. I don't know if it'll really matter.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So stay tuned if you want the Ozark review. We'll probably do season breakdowns and then full series reviews once we've finished the whole G-Dank thing. So that's exciting. But anyways, let's move on to movie news.
Movie.
I believe we talked about Martin Scorsese's new film a couple weeks ago, where it was like Leonardo DiCaprio was in it, and
Whole
Todd
squad.
is in it.
Yeah,
there was a whole lot of people. They just announced someone else that is going to be in it, and frankly, I couldn't be more happy to see who's in it. It is none other than my good friend Brendan G-Dang Fraser.
Let's go. The Mummy is my favorite movie ever.
Oh, I'm more of a George of the Jungle film buff.
Oh, he was so hot in George of the
So
Jungle.
hot. I remember he swung into a tree, and I was like, "Wow, that is."
He's like, "Oh."
That was very awesome. So hopefully he does some of that in the new Scorsese film, which is a movie about a Native American massacre. So
Brendan Fraser's here to save the day.
swings in on a vine.
Custer's Last Stand, baby.
Yeah. I don't remember what that's called. It's something of Osage County. So who knows? It's not a crime film by Scorsese, so it might be good.
Man, you're just making everybody mad.
I know. That's probably my hottest take of all.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I think that will forever be your hottest take.
I think it might be. Yeah, sorry.
We're original.
Actually, The Departed is pretty good, but that's only because Jack Nicholson is in it, and Jack Nicholson makes me laugh.
I do like Jack Nicholson.
He's like, we got a rat in my mafia. And then Leonardo DiCaprio's like, oh no, I'm the rat. That's not a spoiler, because that's the whole crux of the film.
Part of the movie.
Yeah. So that's all for movie news. But we have to review / first reaction the new Suicide Squad film by James Gunn.
Oh boy.
James Franco.
James Franco, Disaster Artist 2.
Yep.
This one is actually based on the book.
It's crazy. We should put spoilers right here. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Move
Spoy
away, you
boys.
dumb idiots.
Wait, did we say spoilers for Bebop?
I don't think so.
No, but we also didn't really talk about major plot
Yeah,
points.
we really
Okay.
didn't.
Kind of skated around those unintentionally.
That's fine. Okay, spoilers for the Suicide Squad, though.
Yes.
Pete Davidson dies in the first 5 minutes.
I
of
was
the
enraged.
movie.
Frick. Because I really liked him in the plane. I'm like, ooh, he brings this awkward, stoner energy.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. And then he just dies.
Yeah. I actually, I really liked the first, 5 minutes.
Yeah, the
They
opening
set
scene
up-
was great.
They set up all of these people in the plane, and then, all of them except for Harley Quinn dies. I was like, oh, okay. This is going to be the opposite of the, the 2016 Suicide Squad movie. Because I think it's so weird to compare the two, because one of them is an absolute train wreck, and one of them is probably one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't even know where to start. I think the characters were good. Weird choices.
Very weird choices.
but we
But that's
knew
where
that.
James Gunn strives.
Yeah.
Just being the really weird guy.
Because absolutely nobody cared about Guardians of the Galaxy until James Gunn made it.
Exactly.
And now everybody is a Guardians of the Galaxy fan.
Yep. He just works well with that.
He does. And I think one of my favorite things about the behind the scenes of this movie is one of the main characters in the movie is Polka Dot Man, which is a joke character that is it's kind of like if they made the main villain in the new Spider-Man movie Big Wheel. That's what they did by putting Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad movie. But James Gunn famously just searched stupidest DC villain, and Polka Dot Man showed up, and he was like, I want to put that in the movie.
That's the one.
And then DC was like, fine, whatever. You're James Gunn. You can do whatever you want.
I view James Gunn films as a D&D session.
Yeah.
Just the weirdest cast of characters possible, but he just makes them work.
And he makes them likable.
Yes.
Which is so weird.
And he's done it multiple times now. So the man's just great with that.
Yeah, so we'll break down the main cast with the obvious one is Harley Quinn.
Yes.
She is the new thing that DC is really pushing.
Latching onto.
Yes. Margot Robbie, pretty good.
I liked her, yeah.
In general, Margot Robbie is, I think she's a decent actress. Where she really, really excels is in voice work. She can nail, especially idealects, which are when you do impression of someone. She can like nail people's voices like to the T. And I think that's what she's doing with Harley Quinn. She's basing it off of the animated show, which makes sense because her Harley Quinn is the first live action Harley Quinn. And she was pretty good. I think the writing for her was also pretty good. There was a lot of twists with her character where like she falls in love with the president of the Cuban. I feel like it's supposed to be like the old guy looks like Fidel Castro.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like Cuba.
So yeah, I'm just gonna say Cuba. I don't remember what it's called.
It's something.
Cuba.
It's like random island in the middle of Latin America. So it's somewhere there. But yeah, she falls in love with the Cuban president, and then the Cuban president's like, I want to torture kids. And then she shoots him, and she was like, I've been looking for red flags because my last boyfriends were all sucky. And it's like, she dated the Joker. She dated Joaquin Phoenix. So yeah, I think her performance was pretty good. I don't have too many issues with it. Also, the fight scene with her escaping the jail, holy moly, that was
beautiful.
Great choreography. When I'm getting flashbacks to the hammer hallway scene in Old Boy, you are doing something right. That is probably the best fight scene ever, which is probably the coldest take ever, by the way. But I'm getting flashbacks to that in the fight scene. I'm like, holy moly, this is epic. I do not remember anything like that in Guardians, either of them.
No.
But yeah, James Gunn really came together for that one.
He can just pull that artsy crap out of nowhere whenever he needs to.
Which is awesome, because that was completely unexpected.
And it fits everything as well. It didn't like stand out.
No.
Like, why is this like this?
Yeah. It wasn't like a tonal jump. No. It was like, oh yeah, she's escaping jail, and it's like it also kind of played into her character, because up until then she was like this kind of like silly, goofy Harley Quinn, and now she's like this murderous like beast killing all of these guys, and it's like, okay, this is epic. But enough about Harley Quinn. Frankly, she's stupid and I hate her. Let's talk about everybody's favorite guy, John Cena.
John Cena was in
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
John Cena's performance was
I love him.
His best yet, even better than Ferdinand.
No way.
Don't tell him I said that, though. John Cena's performance, it would probably make Xi Jinping cry if he could see it.
If he could see it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Dang, if only.
Maybe don't call Taiwan a legitimate country.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now we're banned in China for the rest of eternity if we weren't
already
already.
banned in China.
We actually are banned in China.
That's true. It's a good point. We're banned in China.
Our last Bruno Mars video just got blocked in China. I don't know why.
Of course, they get to protect Bruno Mars's right to take down his stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, that's probably it.
China of all people.
John Cena's doing the same thing as The Rock did, though. He's kind of being like this quirky guy when he first came into acting. Now The Rock's just like, oh, I'm the tough guy.
Yeah.
But John Cena's so much better at it than The Rock.
Yeah.
He's like a natural.
And like the fact that he's like a wrestler turned actor kind of like plays into the character of like this super patriotic guy who also just murders everybody.
That's who he played in wrestling too.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's like the clean, like stereotypical face of wrestling, and he's like the stereotypical face of America in this one. So it played in very well. I think James Gunn knew that. He was like, "This is the perfect guy to cast," because he's been acting this way like his entire career.
Yeah, I think he did a great job. I think the writing for that character was also great. He had some great lines. I'm pretty sure like almost all of them were used in the trailer because That's how these things work.
Yeah.
But the line, what was it? It was like, if there was like a beach littered with 1,000 dicks and someone told me to suck them all off for liberty, then I would say no problemo. I'm like, okay, whoever wrote that needs to get
They need a
an
raise.
Oscar
Yeah.
just for best line. If unfortunately that's not a category, but it should be just for this movie.
I think that should be a category.
Best one-liner.
Yeah. Be fun.
The Academy would never do that. They're too prestigious to give John Cena the award.
Probably half of them you couldn't even say on national TV, so
Yeah, probably.
that category probably won't work.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
His character was very, very good.
Yes. I will say probably the weakest aspect of the movie was the twist villain. And then, again, there was an not again, but there was an after credit scene, and they brought John Cena back. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Welcome back.
They had this whole thing set up where John Cena and Idris Elba's character, Bloodshot, Bloodshot? That's yes. Were like basically identical to each other, where there's just like they're both mercenaries who like
It's like having two tanks on the team.
Right. And it kind of like goes, I think this whole thing is just like a big like middle finger to DC, because it's like all of their superheroes are the same. And I think that's kind of what he's doing here, where it's like the two identical supervillains, which I don't know if these guys are established, because I don't think I've ever seen either of them in anything before. But and you know, John Cena's like, I have big bullets because they can explode in people. So he shoots them and then they explode. And then Idris Elba, he has these like little baby needle bullets and just shoots them and then they die. And he's like, yeah, I don't need the fanfare or whatever. But that goes into their final showdown because John Cena is the twist villain. He's been working for the U.S. government this whole time, which actually does make sense.
It makes complete sense.
Yeah. It makes sense that the director would choose him to serve the country. I didn't have an issue with that. I had a problem with them bringing him back at the end because the final showdown, the bullet thing came back because they both shot each other at the exact same time because they're the exact same character. And but because John Cena's bullets were bigger, Idris Elba's little baby needle bullet was able to pierce through it and create like shrapnel, basically making it so that Idris Elba was not scathed at all, but John Cena gets shot in the throat and dies, apparently, or so we think. But then the after credits scene reveals that the big bad government lady actually airdropped him back to the hospital and he's okay, even though a building collapsed on him and he got shot in the throat. I guess it is a superhero movie, so I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah. He could have just been like being over the top and dramatic too, without any plans to make a second one.
Yeah.
Just because of how like coded and freaking like irony the whole thing is.
Yes.
It's just like it takes itself seriously, but at the same time it doesn't at all.
Right. There are like actual attempts at being a good movie, but then Polka Dot Man they give him like a serious backstory, and it's like, it's Polka Dot Man.
And then they make fun of it.
Yeah.
And then it's great.
They constantly make fun of Polka Dot Man's traumatic
it's fantastic.
backstory.
I love it. Because superhero movies need to be made fun of, even if it's in its own superhero movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. I that was one of my favorite parts of this whole
thing. That's why Guardians
thing.
of the Galaxy is like my favorite.
Yeah, I would say, I think Guardians and then both of those are probably better than Thor Ragnarok, but Thor Ragnarok is following very close behind them, which, speaking of Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi has a very small cameo.
Made a little cameo.
It was very nice to see. I like seeing Taika Waititi on screen. For those who don't know, he is the director of Thor Ragnarok, along with many great films. I think he is one of the only directors that is still working today that has not missed, according to me. I believe I've seen all of them. Maybe not, but he's pretty G-dang good. I guess I haven't seen all of James Gunn's stuff, but of all of James Gunn's stuff that I have seen, he has not missed too. But I've just seen his superhero movies, so cut me some slack. But yeah, what were we talking about? The tone? Is that what we were talking about with the backstory? We can talk about. Oh, we were talking about the cameo with Taika Waititi and the rat catcher. There was the chick. She was kind of like the emotional engine of it all. Kind of the driving force. The Omega stupid kid from Bad Batch is basically the same character. Where it's like, we need to be good people. I just robbed a bank with a mouse. That's not even a weapon, and I got armed robbery. And I was like, that's kind of silly. Because, like, it's like, see what they did? Because it was like, she still robbed a bank, but she was mad that they got armed robbery because of the rat. It was just a silly little joke. But, yeah, they do this, like, I forgot what I was going to say. Frick. With her name is Ratcatcher 2. And it's like, that just kind of goes along with the whole thing where it's like, James Gunn's not taking this seriously at all. Because you have the gall to name the superhero Ratcatcher 2. Like, there's a sequel. But also, there's a big shark played by Sylvester Stallone. So I guess this whole thing is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In short, go see the movie if you haven't, you G-dang cowards.
No, we just explained most of it to you.
Yeah. I would say we did a pretty bad job of spoiling the film because we did not
That's
even
true, we
talk
did do a
about
bad
the big starfish in the
big
room,
bad.
if you will. Because the big starfish it's in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. But there is a big starfish. And then Idris Elba dies.
Whoa.
In The Wire, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far in The Wire. I don't know if that is true. Just throwing it out there. Also, Idris Elba is another great vocal actor because he's a British man, and in The Wire,
Because he's British.
he is a British man. But in The Wire, he actually spent like a very, very long time getting the Baltimore accent down, and he did a great job. So, good on you, Idris Elba. You get a pass. A big A+. Pete Davidson also gets an A+ for getting shot in the face.
S tier performance.
Yes. I also
I
like
felt a deep emotional connection to Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
And was thoroughly disappointed when they shot him.
Yeah. I also like that the javelin guy, that guy is played by Flula Borg, which is a YouTuber. That was kind of a weird casting.
That was an interesting casting.
I
Did it good.
It was good. He did die, and then it was kind of a fun running joke because his whole character is that he has a javelin, but you know, he gets shot because everybody gets shot. And so then Harley Quinn has to carry this javelin around because she's like, I need to wait to see what God gives me for my quest. And then, you know, she eventually figures out that she needs to use the javelin to stab a big starfish. But then when she gets in there, she doesn't do anything with it, and the rats just win the whole game. So I think this movie is pretty awesome. I don't know where I would rate it in terms of superhero movies because we've had a lot of really good superhero movies over the past, like, I don't know, 15 years. We've also had a lot of bad ones. But, you know, for every Thor 2, there is an Into the Spider-Verse. So, I don't know what my tier list would be. So, but this is definitely up there. I think it's probably in the top 5, if I'm being honest with myself. It's even better than the Loki TV show.
Whoa.
Loki.
Loki better than the Loki television program. I don't know. I don't think that's a hot take. It's better than all of the Marvel shows so far. That might be a hot take.
I feel like that's the coldest take in the universe, but this is from an outsider perspective.
But you
That
haven't
doesn't
seen
like
any of
superhero
them.
movies.
It's this movie is better than Endgame.
Wow.
Not a hot take?
No.
Okay. All of these are opinions that I actually hold. I'm trying to think of like what I can say that would be a hot take. I don't know. This movie is better than the Schindler's List. I'm just kidding. I don't think that you can compare those two. But it is better than Forrest Gump. And you can compare those two. Okay, well, that's all I had for things. Donda was supposed to come out.
Yep.
Supposed
I'll talk
to.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll save
Kanye
that
did
for
a
last,
funny.
though. Yeah, we'll save that for last.
Okay.
The only thing that did drop was Nas,
Oh yeah.
which, only a Nas album. Wow.
That was big Nas.
Big Nas. I do like this better than King's Disease 1. So I think he did a better job. More of the songs hit than the first one.
But didn't the first one get best rap album ever?
Wow, yeah.
Wow.
1 Grammy, and public opinion has to sway usually. That's how it works.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed King's Disease 2 more than King's Disease 1. There's a little bit of a falling off point from like track 10 to like 12, but I kind of expected that. Nas is still doing a very good job of making albums in present day without coming off as cringy or out of touch. And Eminem was not cringy or out of touch, so that's always good.
Good.
I was, fingers crossed that whole song, because I think the song he's on is a remix of like the song on the first record, but they actually have EPMD featured on this one, and then Eminem. So I was like, do not mess this up, because Eminem was the last part of it. Because I'm like, we're riding smooth so far. Please just chill, and he did. So, none of any over like eye roll bars. That's usually how I am with Eminem now. It's like, if your bars make me roll my eyes, I'm done. But none of that here.
Okay.
At least in my opinion. Some people might find some of the lines like stupid, but Eminem's quirky and he always will be. So the level of quirkiness was acceptable.
Was there a hamster line? Or a
There was not a hamster line.
Okay.
Never again. A Boogie with the Hoodie and YG killed it on their features too. So,
Whoa.
Boogie with the Hoodie coming in. Didn't know how that song was going to work, because those are all very different styles, but they did that pretty well. Death Row East was a really, really cool song. Nas is like still finding stuff to talk about that's different after 25 years, which is awesome. He like told the story about the whole Tupac thing, because they had like quote unquote beef during the end of that like East and West Coast era stuff. So he went into detail on that, which was really interesting. So that's one of the best ones. The Lauryn Hill features are incredible. That song is probably the best one on here.
Oh yeah.
She killed it, and he let her go for like a minute and a half or 2 minutes. So it wasn't like a small feature spot either.
Nice.
That just makes me want a Lauryn Hill album again.
Yeah, I know.
But that'll probably never happen, along with Andre 3000. But That's why they're highly regarded, is because they have not fallen off and people want them still.
Right.
But Charlie Wilson feature I didn't really care about. I don't really like Charlie Wilson on any hip hop album.
Wow.
It's just weird. It's like putting fun on your chorus in a hip hop song. Hit Boy rapped. Hit Boy's a producer. He rapped on one track and it wasn't bad. So props to you. Hit Boy did majority of Good Kid, Mad City, by the way. That's probably what you know him from.
Yeah.
And he did the first King's Disease as well. But very good. Will probably make my top list somewhere in there. Not top tier in my top list, but it'll be on there.
Okay.
So good job, Nas. You held it down when nobody else did.
Yeah.
Then we had a Weekend song.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, Take My Breath from the new album. It grew on me. We listened to it the first time and I was like, yeah, this is good. It didn't blow me away like Blinding Lights.
Mm-hmm.
Although that is like a perfect pop song, so I doubt anything will really blow me away like that.
Yeah.
But it grew on me. He's doing some disco stuff. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for the next thing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it'll top After Hours just because of how good that album is, but
I don't know.
This is kind of the sister album is what I'm taking from this.
Mm-hmm.
But cool. Boldy James and Alchemist had a single come out. Drug Zone, very good. I think that comes out next week, next Friday. So I will talk about that next week because I'm sure that'll make my top list, like that upper echelon.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. So that was the new stuff we had. I'll do my weekly Kanye update because this will just be a weekly thing at this point.
Yeah.
So it didn't come out Thursday night. I did watch the listening party. I wanted to watch it just because, like, you know, this is the second one. He was actually preparing a performance, and had like a style down because the first one was just him walking around in a red jacket, while poorly mixed music was playing. But this one I wanted to watch, and since it didn't come out on Thursday, I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll just do it now. And it's very, very good.
Okay.
He had this weird live stream, like I think it was Wednesday night. He just started live streaming on Apple Music, like on his artist page, and it's just a camera inside of his room. And he just had like a bed and crap. It was just like a locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And it was up for probably upwards of 14 hours. At one point, he was just sleeping on stream and then getting up. It was really weird. I didn't know why it happened, but like people like Chance the Rapper and stuff would just kind of show up and just chill for some reason. There was no audio for any of it. People started doing push-ups in there. Some dude like shaved his head. It was really weird. Had no clue what it was, but then the performance was basically they made a ring in the center of the stadium and recreated that exact room that he was in. Everything's the same exact thing, and had the spotlight on that. And then they had a whole bunch of people dressed in black, just like outside of this ring. And it was all choreographed. So it's kind of like, I think he took inspiration from Inside a little bit. It's obviously different, but Kanye is like a genius, and he's showing innovation again, which has not happened since, I don't even know at this point. It's like 2016.
Pablo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's getting dangerous again. He's going to be better than everybody else again. That
divorce really
45 or whatever. I don't think that's what it was. But yeah, I'm very impressed by his performance. That's not even talking about the music. I'm not even talking about the music yet. But some people will be like, oh, he's not even like performing. He's just sitting in his like room that he recreated on stage and just walking around. But he's going through the entire like thought process of the album and like thinking about how to make the album while he's performing the album to people. Because he was like, he had all like the notepads with different track lists on it, and he was reading through those like during the performance. And I remember on the live stream he had a phone call with someone, and then during the performance he went on a phone call, like he he acted like he was on a phone call with someone, and then the song, the verses that he was doing was that phone call. So he made all of this in 2 weeks, which was nuts.
Huh.
Like he just kind of threw this together,
Yeah.
like nothing. But the red jacket got swapped out for all black. He had a freaking black face mask on. You couldn't see his face at all. Bulletproof vest. He had that really weird spiky black jacket.
Mm-hmm.
That was all he wore. Didn't do any face or anything. And a lot of people had like, you know, it's the whole Kanye ego thing. It's like, it's always focused on him and he's the best ever. But for a show that's so centered on one person, it felt like the least egotistical I've ever seen Kanye. Just because the focus wasn't on him at all, even though the spotlight was literally on him for an hour and 45 minutes. Like, dude didn't show his face at all, didn't make it about him. And yeah, it's great. He's doing performance art so well.
Interesting.
Not a lot of people do that as much in music. Like, you'll have The Weeknd do it. That's why I like After Hours so much, is he really embodied that character.
Yeah.
Made a storyline. And I haven't had that from Kanye since like Yeezus.
Mm-hmm.
But the music, I am so glad I watched it. Now it's the point of whether this is going to be what we hear when it comes out or not.
Right.
Because I know people were saying there was huge improvements from the first listening party. Because they said the mixing was bad and they barely heard any Kanye.
Yeah.
This sounded like it was done.
Okay.
Like there was sequencing that I could tell was thought out and that worked very well. So I was very surprised that we didn't get it. But I'll get into like what he's doing now later. But this music sounds better than anything I've heard for the past 5 years from Kanye, at least.
Wow.
I don't want to say it's better than Pablo yet because I'm not the biggest fan of Pablo.
Oh.
Personally, I know a lot of people say that's their favorite.
Yeah.
But I think you had to be there for Pablo to really experience it and get it. I'm just kind of disconnected with that one.
Yeah.
Cold Question to do a season on it, and then maybe I'll appreciate it more. Because I think I'm just missing something.
Yeah.
Because it sounds really discombobulated, even though Ultralight Beam is amazing. And Father Stretch My Hands and the big ones.
Oh, awesome.
But awesome. This feels like a combination of Pablo, Yeezus, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Interesting.
Which is like top 3 usually for most people. So, but it opens and it's like one of the most beautiful like intros I've heard in a while. You got Kid Cudi on there, who wasn't on there like literally 3 days before the listening party. I think Tidal posted the feature list when the stream was over, and it filled like there was at least like 20 people.
Really?
So it was the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy route of we're gonna get as many people on here as possible. But he's really working as a creative director, and I think Pusha T was on the intro as well, but he kind of used Pusha T to get his message across as well. So he's really embodying all these people around him. But album's themes are what I've wanted from him, like family and deep discussion about his life, and not this Jesus thing from Jesus is King that didn't go into anything, or like the mental health issues on Yay, which was very aggressive and off-putting. But then on Kids See Ghosts, it was amazing. So we're getting more of that. Okay. I've only listened to the whole thing once. I've listened to some songs like more than once because I want to still save a little bit of mystery. But I think when we were talking on Thursday night, we're like, okay, this is 24 songs. It is like an hour and 45 minutes.
Wow.
But every song is fully fleshed out. And I only didn't like 2 or 3 songs. But it's this is going to be one that will be talked about for a long time whenever it hits streaming and officially comes out.
Yeah.
Just based off of what I personally thought about it, like I was surprised on how good it sounded, and then how other people are kind of talking about it. People haven't really talked about Kanye in this way for a long time. And there hasn't been this big of a rollout in a long time either. But
yeah,
now there's an Apple Music pre-save people are like watching that because the date has changed from like August 9th to August 13th to August 15th to August 9th. And the track list keeps changing as well. There was 24 songs and it went down to 13, then it went down to 15, and then it went back.
Oh.
So Apple doesn't know what's happening. The only person that can pull the trigger on this is Kanye at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So we have no release date. We have no info.
Yeah.
It is up to that man. And I actually like this rollout where he's doing this and sharing the music, because you're like actually kind of building the album with him.
Mm-hmm.
You're hearing the changes in real time. And I think so. Mike Dean is the mixer for him, and he does like all the guitar stuff, like on Devil in a New Dress and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been like the Twitter meme where he's like Kanye slaving Mike Dean for 200 hours of mixing to get it ready for Thursday. So he posted. So there's a hurricane song that has been in existence since 2019 during the whole Yandi stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't repurposed for Jesus is King. People thought it was gone forever. It came back for this different, and then there was a different version played on Thursday that had The Weeknd on it.
Oh,
so they were actually doing a poll to see which version people wanted.
Interesting.
So they're actually getting input to see what people want.
Would they just get rid of the Weeknd feature?
They might.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. But this is why I find this rollout so interesting, is you're building the album with him. You're seeing 3 different versions of every song, and then they're actually asking which one people prefer.
Huh.
Like, nobody's really done that before.
That is, yeah.
So, like, as a creative person in a creative field and kind of knowing how these creative processes work and seeing this with music with Kanye now, it's like really, really cool.
Yeah.
Because you kind of get a say in how this is going to come out. But yeah, there's been nothing but like positive stuff from this. I'm just waiting for this to come out. It seems like the album cover is actually just going to be that black square.
Not the red thing?
No, because if you go to Kanye's artist page now, his profile picture is just that black circle. And I actually mess with it. I'm down. Kanye Black album.
Okay.
Music sounds very, it fits. The only other thing I could think of would be like, he had like these weird cloud things that were on the projectors that were really cool. That would kind of change colors and be really dark and then kind of bright. And then when he like rose through the ceiling or whatever.
Yeah.
But I kind of like just the black, because this album isn't about him really. It's about his relationships and obviously Donda.
Right.
But every single feature artist he has also touches on family and coming up and their relationship and everything. So it's a very like gospel album in the way that it's very like spiritually connected with the people that are involved, and less about Jesus is really cool.
Yeah.
But the only song I can really recall like being the standout is there's an 11-minute song with, I think there's 6 featured artists on it. You got like Jadakiss and Styles P and Jay Electronica, the whole bunch of people, and it just goes on for like 11 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jesus Lord is the name of it, and then it's like one of the most amazing things Kanye's done in a long time. This is like a Runaway Part 2, I think. It's one of those like, it's kind of like that Sing About Me I'm Dying of Thirst, where the beat doesn't change, but it's keeps going enough where you don't get bored.
Yeah.
And the chorus is kind of like, it's not the most appealing the first time you hear it, but by the time you're done with it, it's like it's not getting out of your head and you just love it. But I am so ready for this to just come out. We can still do a first reaction, because like with the way he's doing this and making changes based off of what people think and what he feels from performances, I feel like we could still get a different product.
Okay. I mean, I'll be there if it's at, normal recording time.
Yeah, at normal hours, we will try.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is my top 5 of the year, and it's not even out yet, which is crazy. I mean, it's just everything felt so natural and like an actual like moment. Jesus is King was just dead on arrival.
Yeah.
And Ye is still divisive, and I personally don't put it in my top tier. Even though Kids See Ghosts was good, it was 7 songs.
Right.
This one has at least 22 songs of fully fleshed out ideas that sound good, which would be more content than 3 albums combined from him.
Right.
So
certainly more good content.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Playboy Cardi's 2 verses, and he's on 2 different songs, and they were great.
Really? Playboy Cardi was good?
Yeah.
Oh.
They got some weird relationship going on. Because Kanye was on Cardi's album, and now he's all over this one.
Huh.
But
okay.
I don't know. I think Wash This in the Blood, that one single with Travis Scott, is kind of similar to what the sound is. Just there's more added. They do the choir things.
Mm-hmm.
So they use Sunday service in a way that's actually benefits, and it's not just Jesus is King.
Yeah.
So this is what I wanted from Jesus is King. But when you have the Weeknd singing a chorus and then having the Sunday choir doing background vocals, you cannot beat that.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah. And they have a little baby feature on that song, and it was really, really good. So people are saying a version of that, though. I don't know if that's what they've heard for the longest time. Because a lot of people weren't putting it as one of their favorites and saying like, "Oh, the original Hurricane was so much better."
Oh,
I'm like, I thought this one was really good.
Those are just Kanye stans that are stupid babies.
Yeah, I've been involved with Kanye stan behavior just because this rollout is so interesting to me.
Mm.
A lot of them are reasonable, but there are a lot of people that are like, "Oh, Kanye's gonna drop 3 days after because he ascended into heaven, and then he's gonna come back 3 days later. And it's gonna be out."
I could see him doing that though.
That's the thing. It's like he could do that.
Yeah.
And then people were like, "Where's Dondo's trending all over Twitter and stuff? And he's doing it on purpose because that's what he was asking when his mother died." I'm like, y'all are crazy. But at the same time, it could work.
I don't think that's it.
No, I don't think so. But I do like the idea of he's kind of making modern art because it's an art display. You go and see it and you leave.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to take it with you. But
that's true.
It needs to come out on streaming though because it's
yeah. Well,
this would make brilliant this would make a brilliant art display and just be a brilliant moment and just music. But you got to have it on streaming. Because I need to listen to this over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of torn because I think what you're saying with the whole art display thing, that would make a whole lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I didn't know the whole background of it. Man, I thought Kanye was out. But,
no, we were talking in like early July when this first started popping up again. I'm like, he's got another one in him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think someone like him ever is going to stop with this. He's like too much to ever stop, I think.
I don't think he's ever going to stop, but I feel like it's going to be few and far between. Because I feel like it was more consistent early Kanye. And now we're getting these like really cool things like every 7 years. And then in between that, we're getting stupid gospel stuff. I was like,
I'm gonna group mental freak out Kanye into Jesus is King and Ye. I'll include Kids See Ghosts because that's the one good example that came out of that. But I'm gonna include mental freak out and just everything is just heightened during his political campaign, his family affairs,
right?
Being bipolar. I'm categorizing all that because this sounds like he's focused, he's ready, he's actually matured to where this is the kind of album you get from a matured artist.
Well, that's
and he's
what
doing
I want.
things that nobody else will ever do.
Yeah.
And innovating again. So I'm glad because I thought this Kanye would be gone and I would be too late to the party.
Mm-hmm.
That was my biggest fear. But I hope he tours this as well because I would love to see. I think missing the Yeezus tour will forever be like one of the worst things because that's like a 5-part play.
Mm-hmm.
And he just went all out. So I kind of get a similar feeling with this.
I mean, yeah.
We will update every week until it comes out because next week everything could change, could not change, who knows. It's all into one man's hands at this point.
Right.
And he's still not communicating. He's having his team around him communicate for him. Which is cool I like him being radio silent.
Yeah, I actually appreciate that a little bit more. It's better than the whole like slavery is a choice. I'm gonna run for president like album rollout.
Mm-hmm. And then the album actually sounded like he was just losing it.
Mm-hmm.
But this one hasn't shown his face at all. Just black mask, black apparel. This is a rebirth of Kanye in a way.
Yeah.
And I like that he's keeping his mouth shut. He's having the people around him say things, and the things that don't need to be said out loud aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So
I appreciate it.
love it.
No, I have been seeing some rumblings online as someone who did not watch the live stream, but I believe that Jay-Z is on this record.
He is.
Yes, and I've heard people mention Watch the Throne 2.
Jay-Z specifically said that.
He did.
In a way. He didn't say watch. Actually, he did say Watch the Throne, I think. He said something like Hova and Yeezy, like Moses and Jesus or something. So I think it could happen. It could happen. Which I wouldn't doubt. I wouldn't, be mad at that. I'm down.
Yeah.
I don't know how Kanye would do with the Watch the Throne too. Just because the way this is coming out, this sounds like a completely different man.
True.
This doesn't sound like a crazy off the wall, like offensive lyric. But I mean, Kanye's creative styles can switch so quickly, so you never know. But
well, if they ever did that, then we could finally figure out who is in Paris.
That's true. We could figure out who's in Paris.
Mm-hmm. I still don't even know.
I honestly still don't know.
Nobody is willing to tell me.
Maybe that'll get solved on Donda. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he's doing, like, the math. That's why it's taken so long.
Maybe Donda is in Paris. Maybe
that
that's
could be a plot twist for sure.
That's the the answer was staring us in the face the whole time.
The real people in Paris were their friends we made along the way.
Yep. There we go.
Yep. We did it.
Nice.
But we are your source for weekly, not daily Kanye updates.
Yep.
And they will always be outdated because of how fast things change with this. But I'm treating this more of an archive of an album rollout that is different than every other album rollout ever.
Right.
So
I think it's a good recap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the trenches for this one. I'm checking updates. I'm getting in there, getting the gossip. So
getting that hot
tea, sister.
Okay. Well, is that it for music news?
That's all I had. That was kind of a slower week than I expected.
Yeah, it was kind of a slow week all around, honestly.
Yeah. Still got about an hour and a half in, but it was slow.
Well,
yeah, we had a lot of reviews, so that's those are discussions usually.
It was good discussions, though. Also, I don't know if this is true, but in the first listening party for Donda, people were saying that like Kendrick was on like he had like one syllable, or he just said one word. Okay. I
think the audio mixing was so bad there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in Vegas, people thought one guy was Post Malone and he wasn't. So.
Oh, okay.
I think they could be misconstrued.
Wait, I thought I saw Post Malone on some feature list. It wasn't. I don't.
It might have been early Donda. There's like so many different versions at this point.
That's true.
This is the creative in me. You create a V2 and a V3 and a V4 and a V5, and they just start blending together.
Yeah.
So, seeing a musician do this is like I'm relating heavily, and I also understand the process of just getting rid of things that are still good. So, yeah, but it wasn't ever Post. I don't think. I think people got that wrong because it was like I think KC or something. It sounded very similar.
Okay. Well, I will for sure listen to it. Whether or not it's on camera, I think I'll probably listen to it. I'd prefer it to be on camera.
I would too. I'm just hoping it comes out at a reasonable time so we can do it.
Yeah.
Because that's why I only listened to it once. Because I'm like, I have to experience this with the rest of the world because this is something that's going to be a moment. And just the whole thought of a listening party before your album is out and then just not releasing it.
It is a little strange.
Yeah. Plus the whole performance was great, so I just needed to check it out. But I didn't want to watch it multiple times because I wanted to wait.
Right.
still get that first listen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, yeah,
we'll get that out maybe
We'll
if it
get it
comes
out.
out at a reasonable time, if it ever comes out.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm chilling. I heard it the first time, so not like, you know, fiending for it. I still really want it, but I'm not gonna like die if it doesn't come out immediately.
Yeah. This is not Silk Sonic situation where you just
No,
need to drop
no.
it immediately.
Yep.
Yeah. I gotcha. We talked about Skate, right? That was last
Yes.
week? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I have nothing else to say.
I'm done.
I got nothing.
I can't wait for Watch the Throne 3.